On June 6, 1944, the sand of Normandy stopped being sand. It became a trap with teeth. Machine gun fire sliced across the face of the sea. Allied soldiers, the moment they touched shore, were pinned down like nails. Then, through smoke and screaming, the ground suddenly trembled with a sound that did not belong to that century. A low, heavy shadow of steel crawled onto the beach in silence, like a predator. You want to know what it was, and why it threw the entire war off rhythm? Hit subscribe to the channel, and keep going. Behind the shield of the landing craft, orders became only an echo. Above, the Atlantic wall spat fire with machine precision. Shells turned the shoreline into a corridor with no exit. You hear your own heart hammering, waiting for a nameless bullet. Then that strange sound grows louder, deep, heavy. Nearby soldiers lift their heads, but the shadow in front of them is low, wide, sealed tight like a breathing boulder. It advances straight into the place where everything is firing. Rounds strike its body like rain on sheet metal. Its tracks bite into the sand, and you wonder, where did it come from? Because the moment it touched Normandy, history began to shiver. If, a moment ago, what crawled onto the beach was just a shadow, now it has a name. And that name spreads faster than gunfire. Black Wolf. They don't give it a number, because a number sounds like something from a warehouse. This thing, it moves like a living creature. Its hull is low, wide, and sealed. Its dark gray armor swallows light like the skin of a beast from the ocean floor. Every line screams one thing. It was born to endure. Its engine hums deep and steady, stubborn as thunder trapped in a steel box. Some men scream, thinking it's a new German terror. Others crawl behind it, drawn by the sight of something that doesn't bow to the hail of fire. A voice crackles over the radio, hoarse from seawater and smoke. Black Wolf. Black Wolf is on the beach, and just like that, everything changes. The Sherman is a dagger, but Black Wolf? It's a sledgehammer, aimed straight at the heart of the beachhead. It doesn't rush. It advances with a terrifying calm, meter by meter, as if it already knows the ending. But with hope comes a new fear. What powers this miracle? What ammunition does it fire? And when it runs dry, who saves whom? Because the price of a miracle is always paid in logistics. What if a modern predator was unleashed on a World War II battlefield? Meet the Black Wolf. It's not just bigger. It plays a completely different game. In 1944, tanks had to stop, aim, and then fire. But Black Wolf fires on the move, its guns staying perfectly steady over rough terrain, like a cold eye locking onto its prey. The secret is simple. See first, shoot first. It steals that crucial second your opponent needs to even figure out what's coming. Its advanced optics and fire control turn distance into an equation and solve it instantly. The barrel drops onto the enemy bunker, the firing port, the command post exactly where it needs to be. Its armor isn't just thicker steel. It's a composite design that deflects and absorbs energy, making old anti-tank weapons feel obsolete. But more than just a machine, it's a symbol. Seeing it advance unstoppable gives soldiers the courage to rise up and follow. Yet Normandy is no test range. Mines, obstacles, and deadly 88mm guns are waiting. The enemy is smart. They won't just panic. They'll learn, adapt, and start hunting the hunter. On the embankment, the German reaction is instant. When you face the unknown, you shoot. MG-42s tear through the air. Anti-tank rounds scream past. The mighty 88mm swings around, a door to hell opening wide, and it hammers the Black Wolf's hull, absolutely certain nothing can withstand that kind of power. But as the smoke clears, the Black Wolf is still moving. Panic doesn't fade. It sharpens into cold, hard calculation. The Germans realize they don't need to punch through the armor. They just need to blind it, slow it, and trap it. Gunfire now focuses on the tracks, The turret ring, the optics, anything to break its momentum. The 88mm repositions, hunting for a better angle. Artillery is called in, not to smash the tank, but to chew up the ground beneath it. Smoke pots are thrown to obscure its vision. This isn't just a wall anymore. It's a giant hand reaching out to grab the wolf. Then, a dry crack echoes a sound not meant to kill, but to hold. The black wolf doesn't rush its response. It answers with cold, calculated discipline. Its turret swivels, an eye scanning the whole beach before the gun lowers onto the first machine gun nest. A heavy crack, and the first enemy position goes silent. The tank shifts, its tracks biting deep into the sand, and locks onto the next target. A second crack, and another threat is gone. Then the third embrasure, once a source of terror, falls silent. Each shot is a key, unlocking a path, opening a stretch of beach where men were pinned down. Smoke curls around its hull as soldiers rise from the sand behind it, first crawling, then sprinting as the enemy fire thins. In just minutes, Black Wolf doesn't simply kill. It opens the beach. It buys the Allies priceless minutes, saving the landing's momentum. But with every meter forward, it ventures deeper into a deadly corridor of mines. And mines don't care about legends. The initial thrill is electrifying, but reality hits hard. Black Wolf isn't magic. It's a machine. And machines have needs. It doesn't create its own ammunition or fuel, and it definitely can't change its own tracks under enemy fire on a beach. Every powerful shot is a promise, but it's also a deduction from a very limited supply. Every minute the engine screams, it burns fuel that 1944 logistics simply can't replace. The resupply trucks are still stuck offshore. Its advanced turbine engine might be versatile, but feeding it dirty fuel with sand and water is a death sentence. It overheats, and suddenly you don't have a supertank. You have a massive steel coffin. The tracks are another weak point. A single mine doesn't need to pierce its armor. It just needs to break a track, turning Black Wolf into a sitting duck for an 88mm cannon. The only way to use it is with extreme precision like a surgical tool. Appear, strike a critical target, create an opening, and immediately pull back. Every shot must count. Every move must be planned. If not, this miracle of steel won't be killed by the enemy. It will simply die of emptiness. To change the course of the Normandy landings, the Black Wolf didn't need to be everywhere at once. It just had to appear at the right time, in the right place, and nudge the rhythm of the war. Think of war as a giant machine. You don't always need to smash it. Sometimes, just a small block wedged into the gears is enough. By opening the beach just minutes earlier, more soldiers survive to push inland. More survivors mean units stay organized, capturing key exits before the enemy can react. This gives Allied logistics room to breathe. Engineers clear paths, supplies reach the shore, and a fragile beachhead strengthens by the hour. Meanwhile, the Germans are thrown into chaos. Reports of an unkillable steel wolf spread panic, and commanders pull forces from other areas to plug a breach that is out where they think it is. In war, if you can make your enemy dance to the wrong beat, you've already won half the battle. Suddenly, the Germans stop asking, "How do we kill it?" and start asking something far more dangerous. How do we get it? If a machine like Black Wolf can exist, it's not just a weapon, it's the future. Whoever grabs it first pulls the world to their side. So, the battlefield changes in real time. Artillery isn't just to stop it, but to trap it. Mines aren't just to destroy, but to break its tracks. Smoke isn't to hide, but to steal its eyes. The Allies realize this at the same moment, and they face a cold truth. They might win today, but if even a piece of that technology is lost, they could lose the war tomorrow. A loose armor plate, a scrap of wiring, that's all it would take. So a silent order is given. Black Wolf must not become a trophy. It must be erased. Hit subscribe to find out what happened next.